The following contains spoilers for the upcoming season of Game of Thrones. Hey guys, I feel sick today, so if the audio comes out bad or my voice kind of sounds bad compared to my previous videos, it's probably because of it, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. Hey guys, today I'm bringing you one theory of mine which is not supported by any leaked material. Today I'm going to talk about Qyburn's loyalty towards Cersei. In this video, I'm going to consider the possibility of Qyburn working for Varys the whole time. I will not just express you my theory and expect from you to believe in it. I'm also bringing you the possible proofs that are going in favor to this theory. Okay, let's start. From the very beginning, since the first episode Qyburn appeared on TV show, they were raising more and more unexplained answers on a lot of questions. For an example, how did Qyburn even end among the Northern and Riverlands prisoners at Harrenhal, in which Clegane, Gregor aka the Mountain, killed every prisoner, but somehow Qyburn survived the injury and awoken when the castle was taken by Robb Stark and his northern army. 3 seasons passed since that happened. Qyburn had conversation with Jaime and Cersei, but still we don't know how Qyburn ended as a prisoner at Harrenhal. We're not sure if Qyburn is working for Varys since the very beginning, which actually would explain why Qyburn volunteered to join the team, which escorted Jaime back to King's Landing. Meanwhile, from conversation between Jaime and Qyburn, we've all found out that Qyburn is an unethical former maester who was thrown out of the order for conducting illegal human experiments. As we all know, Qyburn and Cersei became extremely close considering the fact that Cersei treated people around her with paranoia and suspicious thoughts, especially the just right ones, while Qyburn gained Cersei's full trust by bringing Gregor Clegane back to life, after he was seriously wounded by spear-coated in Manticore venom during the fight against Oberyn Martell, after which Cersei named Qyburn as Master of Whisperers, as a Varys' replacement on the Small Council. Now this is a moment in which we are bringing you some kind of proofs. As we've seen from few episodes in Season 6, Qyburn has been able to use spy capabilities of same little birds that Varys had used in previous seasons. Now from this fact, there are a lot of suspicious and so far unexplained things. For example, in conversation between Tyrion and Varys, Tyrion asked if he can believe to these little birds. Particularly, Tyrion said, "Tell me, can the little birds get a message to the good masters of Astapor, the wise masters of Yunkai, the benevolent enslaves of Alanis?" On which Varys answered with, "Of course, men can be fickle, but birds I always trust." From this conversation, we can see that Varys fully believed his little birds, and Varys can be considered as everything but a fool. Furthermore, Varys is known as a man of knowledge and whisperers, as a man that knows every step of every living man in 7 kingdoms. Also, there we came to a conclusion that even if Qyburn managed to, let's call it, bribe few Varys' little birds, and even if those few spies agreed to betray Varys, there is no way that Varys wouldn't find it out. There is no way that none of them wouldn't send Whisper to Varys. Furthermore, Varys is disparagingly known as the Spider due to his vast web of intelligent sources, his sophisticated intelligence network, which is one of the largest in the world and spans both Westeros and Essos. This fact gives me even more doubt about Varys not knowing if the group of his spies betrayed him. Little birds are Varys' founding group of spies, which he educates, gives sweets and provides them protection in return for the information they bring him, in case you didn't know. All of this means that Qyburn is most likely working for Varys and is only preparing the ground for a new queen. You might think, if Qyburn and little birds are loyal to Varys, why did little birds inform Qyburn about the wildfire, who later informed Cersei about it, which led to destroying the Great Sept of Baelor along with Mace Tyrell, Margaery Tyrell, Loras Tyrell, High Sparrow, and all little sparrows? First of all, let's highlight the fact that Varys has been loyal to House Targaryen all the time. Varys has been working on a plan to bring back to Daenerys and House Targaryen the Iron Throne that has been taken from them since the first season of Game of Thrones. If you don't remember, or you don't know, Varys has been working hard on Targaryen's rise, along with Illyria Mopathi since the very beginning, which seen from the first season confirms, as we saw Varys and Illyria discussing about the right time to strike on 7 kingdoms in the tunnels under the Red Keep, which was overheard by Arya Stark. Varys has been advising Daenerys' father as well. He was one of the small amount of men who served the Mad King, even when it was obvious that he is going to lose a war. In Aerys' final days, when Tywin arrived at King's Landing with an entire Lannister army at his back, Varys warned Aerys not to open the gates, which Aerys refused because of Grand Maester Pycelle, who told the Mad King what he wanted to hear, that he could trust Lord Tywin, which resulted with Aerys believing his former Hand of the King, believing Tywin Lannister, and opened the gates, after which Lannister army sacked the city and Jaime stabbed Aerys in the back. Let's get back on the question, which was, if Qyburn, along with Little Birds, was actually working for Varys, why did they help Cersei to find out about the wildfire and later with it destroy the great Sept of Baelor along with her enemies? Well, the answer is very simple. Cersei's plan matched perfectly with Varys' plan. Furthermore, in our opinion, Varys actually ordered Qyburn and his little birds to find out if the wildfire is really under the great Sept of Baelor, and if it really is, to inform Cersei about it immediately. I'm aware that most of you are confused right now, but let me explain. Varys is a simple man. He was aware that if Cersei wipes out the most of leadership with the wildfire, it would lead her losing her allies, which in fact exactly happened. And as Varys probably expected, it gave him an opportunity to make new allies, in this case with Olenna Tyrell, who now only wants to avenge her son, her nephew and her niece. By this fact, Varys managed to provide new ally for his queen and made Daenerys' takeover even easier. By destroying the great Sept of Baelor, beside the fact that Varys provided a new ally for Dany, they also got rid of one threat. They got rid of High Sparrow and his Fate Militant, which I'm sure would make a lot of problems for Daenerys. Also the fact that Qyburn brought Sir Gregor Clegane back to life, who back in 3rd season almost killed him, is something that I can't get over. Why did Qyburn bring back to life someone who attempted to kill him? I have a possible answer to that question, which would be that Qyburn created the monster, created the mountain, only to get even closer to Cersei, which would allow them, when the time comes, to easily kill Cersei, which she thinks that he is her most trusted protector, as she thinks he is, ever since the mountain has been brought back to life. As the mountain was her closest and the only guard through the 6th season, he will continue to be in the upcoming season as well, as leaked photos confirms, the ones which were taken in Dubrovnik a week ago. If this theory comes true, in which Qyburn is actually working for Varys and is preparing the ground for a new queen, it would only prove once again how brilliant mind of Varys actually is, which would once again confirm Varys' high intelligence and cunning skills. But this is only a theory, which is not supported with either leaked photos or leaked plot. All I know for sure is that the mountain will follow Cersei as her most trusted protector, as he did in previous season. But yeah, this is only a theory which doesn't necessarily has to come true. I've read a theory which says that Qyburn doesn't really care that much about any of those lords and their games, but cares more about himself and the cause of science. Theory says that Qyburn is beside Cersei only because she gave him a laboratory and more resources than anyone could ever give him, so he uses it. This theory, in my opinion, is not accurate. This is Game of Thrones show and every character has their role in it. Qyburn isn't that close to Cersei only to use more resources, there's something much bigger in it. I've also read a theory about Qyburn being loyal to House Stark, supported by the fact that Robb Stark kind of saved his life after he came at Harrenhal. But personally, I don't believe in it. I'm rather sticking with the theory which I represented to you guys today with some kind of proofs. Don't you think that Qyburn's whole story is a little bit suspicious, or is it just me and my overthinking? Don't you think it's a little bit weird how the mountain is the one who slit Qyburn's throat at Harrenhal in the first place, but after that, Qyburn brought the mountain back to life? It would only make sense if it's part of a bigger plan of vengeance. Do you think that Varys would sacrifice a lot of innocent lives in order to provide Daenerys some extra army and a new ally, in favor to make her takeover even easier? And the last one, do you think that Varys' little spies actually betrayed him over Qyburn, and that all the events at the King's Landing happened without Varys' implication? Let me know your opinion in the comment section down below.